It is going to be a really windy day today across the southeast. We have warnings in place for all of Tasmania, for the lower southeast of South Australia, and for generally on and south of the ranges of Victoria and the southern ranges of New South Wales. And these windy conditions are being generated by a very strong cold front that's crossing the region during today. The winds are expected to be above generally 90 to 100 kilometres per hour, which is what we're seeing at the moment. Easing across South Australia later this afternoon, Victoria later this evening, same with New South Wales, but it won't be until tomorrow morning that we expect those winds to ease below threshold for Tasmania.
So how long is it going to last? When are we going to start to see conditions start to ease across there?
Yeah, the winds are peaking at the moment and will continue for the remainder of the morning, but for the mainland, generally easing later today into this evening and for Tasmania tomorrow. It's also bringing a fair bit of rain for Tasmania in particular. Since 9 a.m. yesterday, they've seen in the gauges 30 to 50 millimetres, and Tasmania have had a lot of cold fronts that have been sweeping across, and the grounds are very wet there. So river systems will respond very quickly to any further rainfall that does fall, and there are a number of minor flood warnings in place already, and as well watches across much of the state as we're keeping a very close eye on it.
What sort of falls are we looking at in terms of totals there?
Yeah, as I mentioned, we've seen in the last 24 hours around 30 to 50 millimetres. We're expecting further rainfall. Even once it crosses Tasmania, it's going to continue to be in a westerly airstream with further rainfall, particularly about western parts of Tassie. So by the time we get to the end of this weekend, Sunday or so, there may be accumulations of 80 to 100 millimetres through those western sections.
And speaking of this weekend, what are we looking at? Because we've got some severe weather as well forecast, don't we?
Yeah, look, it's also going to be relatively stormy across Queensland and northern parts of New South Wales as well today and continuing into tomorrow. There's the potential for severe thunderstorms through the interior of southern Queensland today with damaging wind gusts, but for the northeast quadrant of New South Wales, there's the potential for large hail as well as those damaging winds. Moving into tomorrow for Saturday, the area of storms will start to shift eastwards, and the severe storms are possible about the southeast coast of Queensland, most likely slightly away from the coast, but continuing about northeastern parts of New South Wales as well, with damaging wind gusts and large hail. And those stormy conditions are expected to continue for the next few days.
Sarah, we know that spring can be a little bit temperamental, but is this unusual? We're seeing so many warnings across a widespread area.
Well, look, we are in the severe weather season, so for the stormy conditions across Queensland, New South Wales, very typical for this time of year, and also for the cold fronts, strong cold fronts sweeping across southern Australia are again quite typical. Spring is the transition season, so we're moving from that the colder temperatures of winter into those warmer temperatures of summer, and it is very typical to have these windy cold fronts, particularly through the mid-latitudes or through the southern half of Australia.